Hello guys, this is Vineet from Edge Forex, and today is the 26th of May 2025, and we are looking at the British Pound Japanese Yen GBP JPY chart, and we want to do some basic analysis before we jump into the actual chart and see where the price is moving. I wanted to just touch base on where things are macroeconomically. So we all know Japan is running really high inflation. The bonds are not selling, and the Bank of BOJ, Bank of Japan, has not given any clear indication on how they are going to deal with the interest rates, if there are any hikes that are in the making. So that said, and on the other hand, we have Britain. They are very hawkish. They are ready to fight the inflation, and I think the next 2-3 steps are going to be they could be rate hikes. So that's the macro backwinds on GBP. So if you compare only solely on macro, GBP has more things going for it as it getting strengthened compared to Japanese yen. So if we're looking at the chart itself, we are looking. So what I want to do is I want to look at the big picture first, and then kind of zoom in a little bit, one step at a time. So I want to see how this pair has done over the last 5 years. So by looking at it, I'm going all the way back to 2020 till date, and I can clearly see that there is a very well-defined uptrend here. Oops, let me just leave it here. And now the price is making higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, and it's been choppy for the last few months. So now if I go into a daily chart and see how things are looking, so that's the weekly chart. So every candle is a week. So let me zoom out into the daily chart here. And it's the same picture, guys. No, picture is the same because I see higher high, higher lows, all of that. So if I zoom into, say, the last few months or last a little over a year, so price is moving sideways, and also you can see that there is a huge support right at the trend line, and then it recently tested that support and bounced right back. So these are the areas we need to look at for bounce backs and major action happening around these price areas. So let's go ahead and draw a line or horizontal line right around this area, because you can see there's a lot of action here. There's a lot of action. So since last July, this has been a solid support, and every time it touches this, it bounces right back. So we know what areas we are looking at right away as far as a solid support within, say, 800 to 1,000 pips. So now if I go further in, so let's go look at 4-hour chart. So every candle now is 4 hours, and now clearly if I zoom in again, the price is in a clear uptrend. And so now I have an uptrend in my weekly chart, I have an uptrend in my daily chart, and I have an uptrend in my 4-hour chart. So it's telling me a story that, hey, the long-term price or even the mid-term to short-term is looking for is an uptrend. So now if I look at the RSI, it's at 56. So it's not really oversold or overbought or oversold. So it's right in the middle, but little bias is towards higher prices, and the momentum is bias is higher. So if I look at stochastics, they have turned. So the so the fast stochastics is on top of the slow stochastic. That usually means that there is a short-term a price reversal that is possible, but I wouldn't take that as a signal. So if I were to take a trade, I would wait till it breaks because I know my long-term trend is long, like it's going up. So I want to go with the trend. I don't want to trade against the trend. So at this point, we know that the direction we want to trade in, it has to be a buy trade. And I would wait till the confirmation. If I were to trade this pair, I would wait till the confirmation of the recent break or recent here resistance here. So once it breaks through that resistance, because there's been quite a bit of action here at this range here. So once it breaks that resistance, I would go in long, where I would have first this trend line. At the stop, yeah, that's what I would do. Have this trend line at the stop. Or if you want to be a bit more bold, and if your trade is a bit long term, you can actually have this trend line in the bottom here at the stop. So I would put my stop a little bit below this trend line, or if my time horizon is really long, I would put my stop loss a little bit below this the long-term trend line. So I think that's where things are headed, and that's what the chart is telling me. I wouldn't recommend going in short at all. That's for sure. I wouldn't sell this pair because looking at the long-term trend, and I would only go long because that's what the trend is telling me, and I want to go with the trend. And we have identified the resistance level here, and once it breaks through that, and I think it should catch real good momentum and should be a good trade. I think that's it. If you guys have any more questions, I would be more than happy to address them. All right, I'll talk to you guys later.